Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your comments, your ideas, your suggestions about how to best enjoy ourselves here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English locals. If you're looking to connect with other like-minded people or better connect with our destination or Mexico's culture, way of life, traditions, and so forth, you've come to the right place. Today is the first day of February. It's February 1st. It is Hump Day. Valentine's Day is approaching, and our good friends from the Secret Wine Bar, the Secret Wine Bar. Yes, our friends from the Secret Wine Bar, I'm stumbling, have released their publicity for their upcoming wine and chocolate tasting. We will leave information about that in the show notes for you to consider if you want to have a romantic date around Valentine's Day. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Tomorrow is Dia de la Candelaria, which means tamales are going to be the menu item of choice. We're going to talk today about the most popular tamales in Mexico. We have other news that are good for Puerto Vallarta, things you may want to know. I also want to tell you about a new artisan market that I discovered in Versalles yesterday as I was going to the movies. And I'd love to tell you about the film that I went to see and why you should consider seeing it, even though it's tanking at the box office due to, well, I'll explain myself later. And last but not least, I want to talk about artists' dates. What on earth is an artist date? Well, we've been having them all along, but maybe you didn't even think about them as such. I want to touch base on that because I think artist dates are really, really important. Let's get the show on the road. But first let's put the graphics on the screen. Otherwise, we won't be able to do shit. There you go. In case you're wondering, Puerto Vallarta's revenue in 2022 and last year was higher than 40 million pesos. That's how much money the city made in tourism. The city also averaged 72% hotel occupancy through the year, according to numbers provided by Jalisco's Secretary of Tourism. We welcomed almost 6 million tourists through the year and held the highest hotel occupation numbers in the entire country during the month of December. And the numbers during last month, that would be January, continue to be higher than in the past year. So things are looking good for our city as far as tourism is concerned. And this is a good thing considering that we don't see a lot of news notes about Puerto Vallarta attending or being promoted at important international travel fairs. Meanwhile, Riviera Nayarit reported a successful presence at the New York Travel and Adventure Show, considered the most important travel-related trade show in the United States, with over 35,000 attendees, 750 exhibitors from over 175 different countries. Riviera Nayarit was there. If Puerto Vallarta was there, we don't know it because it's not being publicized. But there are good news about and from Puerto Vallarta. In the latest council meeting, which took place this week, a new law was approved that will protect parks, gardens, and other green and public areas that belong to the municipality, therefore preventing them from being used privately in the future. Why is this important? Well, I'll give you a popular example. This impressive looking building, I believe it's called 105 Sailview, was not meant to be. It was not meant to exist. Why? Because it was built on a public walkway, which was actually the pedestrian extension of Ignacio Vallarta Street in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. But as it tends to happen, the land was privatized magically during the end of a previous administration, and bam, all of a sudden, a public walkway used by many became a building. And not a small building either. Will the new laws prevent this from happening again? Oh, we have no idea. But it is unfortunate when shit like this happens. Dia de la Candelaria is tomorrow, and in case you are wondering, survey says the most popular tamales in the country are the so-called tamales verdes or green tamales, which are savory tamales filled with chicken in green tomatillo sauce. And the good thing is these are readily available here in Puerto Vallarta, although you are bound to also find other types of delicious sweet and savory tamale types. And the other good thing is that as a staple Mexican food item, you can find and enjoy tamales pretty much any day of the year and not just on Candelaria Day. That said, I think tomorrow I'll go shopping for some tamales for my merienda or supper. I don't know what you'll do. I'll definitely have some tamales. Let us take a quick look at the weather just to see what's going on out there, and we'll take it from there. Oh, yes, Tom Brady has just announced he is retiring, and our snarky weather says, I am pretty sure we are stuck in a time loop. 25 degrees right now, feels like 27. Humidity is at 64%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 77. And our weather forecast for today, Wednesday, hump day, says clear through the day with a high of 27 and a low of 18. Tomorrow, Thursday, partly cloudy through the day with a high of 28 and a low of 17. And Friday will be a clear day with a high of 30 and a low of 20. Is it me or is it getting progressively warmer? Ever so slightly? I hope not. I'm still enjoying the winter weather, and I hope it stays cool for a few days longer. Now, I want to tell you about something that we announced a few days ago. A few days ago, we announced that the Living Room Bookstore was initiating a 6-week workshop based on Julia Cameron's book, The Listening Path, 6 Weeks to Deeper Creativity, which is an offspring of her very popular and successful book, The Artist's Way. As I mentioned then, I went out and got the new book, The Listening Path, and started reading it, and I'm finding myself quite mesmerized with the rediscovery of a concept that was repurposed from her original teachings in The Artist's Way. The Artist's Way, as I mentioned before, was a very popular book designed to to enhance your creativity through a series of activities and workshops and so forth and so on. Whereas the listening path focuses on just becoming better listeners. And listeners not only means, with your ears, but just being attentive to your surroundings. So this concept from the original book, The Artist's Date, is one of Julia's building blocks for increasing your creativity, and it's not nearly as lofty as the name sounds, because an artist's date sounds like you're going to have a date with an artist, but that's not the case. What she is suggesting, the author, is that once a week we set aside some 2 hours, 1 or 2 hours or so of our time to do something fun by ourselves and for ourselves. And it doesn't even have to be something artistic. It can be something as basic and mundane as going to the nearest animal shelter and spending an afternoon petting animals, or browsing through the aisles of a newly opened store. It's something that you should be looking forward to doing every week. The time that you put aside to go out on your artist date. Julia Cameron even suggests, for example, that you think of an artist date that focuses on each of your five senses. Like on the week in which you're going to go um, enhance or celebrate hearing, maybe you want to go sit at a park and just pay attention to um, the sound of the birds. If you are focusing on taste, obviously, you may want to go out and grab a bite or get a scoop of your favorite ice cream. I don't know. So for all I know, we've been doing this. We've been treating ourselves to doing this, that, and the other here and there. But are we doing this mindfully? What would happen if we scheduled an artist date this week and each week moving forward? What would you do? Where would you go? Feel free to comment on this topic. I had forgotten all about artist dates, but it seems like a great way to have the intention to put aside some time to pamper ourselves. So if you have any thoughts of things that you may have done recently that qualify as an artist date, or things that you think you should program and schedule for yourself as an upcoming artist date, feel free to write it down in the comments. We'll get to that in a little while. But first, I also want to tell you about the film that I went to watch yesterday. And I'm going to tell you why you should go, even though it seems to be flopping at the box office. And the film is called Babylon. It is presently playing at the VIP cinema. It may be playing elsewhere, but we saw it at the VIP cinema. It stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Tobey Maguire, and a newcomer from Mexico. His name is Diego Calva, and he was actually nominated for a Golden Globe as a leading actor in the film. What is the film about, and why should you see it? Well, if the musical film Singing in the Rain was more of a drama, then you would be watching Babylon. If you remember Singing in the Rain was a movie that explored the calamities that silent movie actors went through when talkies or movies with sound first appeared. And that is the premise of Singing in the Rain, if you remember it. Well, Babylon is a musical drama that explores the same subject matter. But when I say musical drama, it's not like there's a lot of musical numbers. There's a few, but it's not a musical movie. It is a huge, grandiose, colorful, extravagant, and very decadent film that shows us what it was like during producing movies when movies were silent, who the actors were, what were they like, and what happened to them and a couple of directors when the movies started featuring sound. Why did the movie flop in the box office? Well, everything that I've read has pointed to really bad promotion. If you were to look at the trailer really didn't focus on the story. It focused on the spectacular, extravagant visuals, and they are absolutely extravagant. But I enjoyed it thoroughly. It's a long film. It was like 3 hours, but it was absolutely, absolutely wonderful, and definitely something to watch on the big screen. So give it a go if you are here in Puerto Vallarta or wherever you are and you wish to check out this movie. Last but not least, I want to tell you that on the way to the movie, there is a new Versalles market that takes place every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at a small restaurant that is called Sana Acción. Sana Acción serves healthy food, and it bills itself as a restaurant slash community center. They have a cute garden in the back, which is where the market takes place. It is a brand spanking new project, so it's still not very well publicized on Facebook, but it was on the way to the movie, so we went to go check it out. And It's not far from my house, and it's actually not even in Versalles. It's in Diaz Ordaz, which is the next door neighborhood, and it's just a few doors down from Los Muertos tap room, which we love. And again, the restaurant is very, very basic, but in the patio, we found all these wonderful vendors, some of whom we've seen in other markets, but it's nice to know that there's a new option for them and for us right here in the vicinity of Versalles. Nature soaps we found, homemade clothes for girls. I complained because I wanted, some clothes for boys as well, but there weren't any. Beautiful handmade jewelry and all kinds of other things that we saw there. Again, this happens every Tuesday afternoon at this new restaurant, and I'm going to leave you the Facebook page for the restaurant in the show notes should you wish to consider this new option. Of course, I was smitten by things that have to do with yarn and so forth and so on. I love these. These are macrame. They were very nicely made. And there were all kinds of wonderful things that you can enjoy. The venture is not very large yet, but like any new venture, we want to support it as much as we can because we want to support these artists. And of course, my dear friends Joshua and Lucy were there. I didn't take a photo of their stand, but of course, Lucy and Joshua are going to do their Hecho a Mano project coming up at Ernesto's Good Grub. And this is coming up on the 10th. That will be not this Saturday, but a week from, no, not this Friday, but a week from Friday. So that will be yet another great opportunity to go browsing for and enjoying some handmade products. Maybe that would be a fun artist date. I don't know. It would be for me. And that's what we have for today. Let us take a quick look at your comments to see what you guys are up to and whether you've been on any fun artist dates or are you considering some. Lots of good mornings as always, which are wonderful to read. Albert continues to go restaurant hopping and he went to Puro Peru. It's right in downtown in El Centro. I've always wanted to check that restaurant out. It's on my list, but it's not a place that I've gotten to just yet. Oh no, Doug is recovering from stem cell surgery. I hope your recovery path is smooth and I hope you come back to your normal self in the very near future. My future husband is available again. Which one of them all, Alan? I have several. Please give me some clarity because I could use a future husband. And I mean that. All of a sudden, well, never mind. No, we won't talk about me. Let's see what else. Visiting from afar today. Cheers. Well, cheers to you, Joanne. Thank you for visiting with us. Marked safe from Tom Brady ever winning the Super Bowl again. I love it. It's okay that Jalisco didn't go to the tourist convention. Let Nayarit go and pay as they all have to come here first. Michael, I agree with you, but then I disagree with you. My only concern with that notion is that if Puerto Vallarta chooses to get comfortable and stops promoting, then will be, something will happen. That's it. It's so easy to take for granted the popularity that you have, whether you are a city or a restaurant or morning live show. I mean, we all need to do a little bit of work there, and that's just my opinion. I do hope that Puerto Vallarta is attending these trade shows, and if we are, I do hope that the local papers will continue to promote that. Let's see. Oh, wow. Deb says today is my first day of morning letters and the beginning of the Artist's Way tasks. Thank you. Well, yes, the morning pages or writing 3 pages of just stream of consciousness every morning is another one of the building blocks of Julia Cameron's books. So that's wonderful. Let's see. Piri papu pipi. Uh, oh, there was a happy birthday for Deb. Sorry I missed that. Deb, happy birthday. I hope you have a good birthday. And there you have it. We have a broadcast taken care of. This brings us to the end of today's Coffee and Headlines. I hope you will plan fun dates for yourselves in the future, just to keep ourselves nurtured in whichever way we need to be nurtured. I hope to see you again soon, which would be tomorrow for me, hopefully tomorrow for you as well. And that's basically it. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.